Well, Donald Trump proved once again today, beyond a reasonable doubt, that he does not know what he is doing. Donald Trump proved that in more than one way today, including his response to a question in the aftermath, the tragic aftermath of the horrible flooding in Texas, where the death count is now at 104 with the possibility of going higher. 28 of the victims were children sleeping at a summer camp on the banks of the river. After declaring a federal disaster area in the flood zone in Texas, which then activates a full response by FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Donald Trump was asked, "Are you still planning to phase out FEMA?" To which Donald Trump said, "Well, FEMA is something we can talk about later, but right now they're busy working. So we'll leave it at that." Right now, they're busy working? How could they possibly be busy working if, as Donald Trump and Elon Musk believed back when they were pretending to be friends, that FEMA is a complete waste of money and should be disbanded? Only someone who doesn't know what he's doing could say, let's get rid of FEMA. There's a reason no other president has ever suggested that, because every other president always knew that FEMA was busy working somewhere, because FEMA's work goes on long after the disaster is in the news, and that work always overlaps with new FEMA jobs that come along when other very predictable disasters take place, like hurricanes during hurricane season or horrible massive flooding in a place in Texas known as Flash Flood Alley. That's the area where that deadly flood occurred. It is predictable that horrible flooding will occur in such a place, and it is a long-established government function to create as strong an early warning system as possible for predictable disasters like hurricanes and blizzards and floods and fire in dry, high-wind areas. Earthquakes are completely unpredictable, so you never know when FEMA is going to be rushed to the site of a deadly earthquake. But Donald Trump wanted to get rid of FEMA and now refuses to say if he wants to get rid of FEMA because now they're busy working. Those are the words of someone who does not know what he's doing as President of the United States. The first federal disaster relief from Washington was in 1803 after a devastating fire in New Hampshire. And federal disaster relief has been going on since 1803 and was formally centered in one organization when FEMA was created 46 years ago. FEMA has been a bipartisan success and enjoyed bipartisan support until Donald Trump decided to get rid of it because Elon Musk told him way back when they were still pretending to be friends. What was that, years ago or I guess weeks ago? Of course, we know that Elon Musk and Donald Trump were never friends because friendship requires generosity, kindness, understanding, affection, respect, and of course, loyalty. And there is no publicly available evidence that Donald Trump or Elon Musk has ever been capable of any of those feelings. To be a friend, you must first be human. And so, no, Elon Musk and Donald Trump were never friends. They pretended to be friends, and now they are back to attacking each other. Elon Musk claims that he has already started a third party to challenge Trump Republicans in the House and Senate who voted for Donald Trump's budget bill, which eliminated tax credits for customers who purchase Elon Musk's electric cars. On July 4th, Elon Musk conducted one of his most absurd fake polls on Twitter, saying Independence Day was the perfect time to ask this question: should we create the America Party? Twitter is incapable of conducting an accurate poll since it is limited to Twitter followers, which Elon Musk renamed into something too stupid to say out loud. And it is impossible to get an accurate polling sample of the population on Elon Musk's Twitter. But even with a rigged poll in which Elon Musk has complete control over the results because he owns and operates the platform people are responding to, he only got 65% of his followers on Twitter to say yes to his idea, and 34% said no. But that's not the funny part. That's not the pathetic part. Elon Musk has 222 million followers on Twitter. 222 million. And the total number of responses to his question about creating a third party was 1,248,856. In other words, more than 99% of Musk followers did not even vote in his poll. The bad political news for Elon Musk and his poll is that more than 99% of his followers on Twitter don't care what he says about creating a third party and wouldn't even respond to him. But Elon Musk, like Donald Trump, is incapable of embarrassment, and so he might start a political party, and he might not, but he hasn't done it yet, even though he has claimed that he already did it. Elon Musk has actually filed nothing about his party organization with the Federal Election Commission, and so his plan to, as he put it, target 8 to 10 House seats and 2 to 3 Senate seats means absolutely nothing until he files for a party certification with the FEC. And since Donald Trump, in effect, controls the Federal Election Commission now, it might not be so easy, even for the richest person in the world, to get a new party certified to compete against Donald Trump and Donald Trump's party in federal elections. Tesla stock continued to fall today, dropping 7% on the news of the latest hysteria between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Donald Trump says that Elon Musk is completely off the rails. And again, because Donald Trump has no capacity for embarrassment and his followers seem to religiously believe he can do no wrong, Donald Trump doesn't have to apologize to any of his followers for having previously said Elon Musk is a genius and entrusted Elon Musk with their Social Security and their tax files, for all we know. Donald Trump did that just a few weeks ago, but Donald Trump doesn't have to apologize for giving Elon Musk the keys to the government, literally, in some cases, actual keys that were used to lock out government workers. Donald Trump doesn't have to apologize to his followers for letting Elon Musk fire people or force them to quit at places like FEMA. Donald Trump doesn't have to apologize to his followers for letting someone who is completely off the rails take over so much of the government that those people voted for Donald Trump to run. But Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing. That's why he let Elon Musk do what he did in government. And now Donald Trump is saying on social media, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. This is the same guy, Donald Trump, who used federal property to try to sell Elon Musk's cars and pump up the Tesla stock price. This is the same Donald Trump who turned the White House driveway into a Tesla dealership for a day and gave Elon Musk the biggest TV commercial ever recorded on federal property. In fact, it's the only one because it's illegal to record TV commercials on federal property. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing. That's why he did that. That's why he does everything he does. He does not know what he's doing. Donald Trump may be finally right about something when he says Elon Musk is off the rails, but neutral Musk observers have been saying exactly that for years, long before Elon Musk decided to become the biggest political contributor in history and give every dollar necessary to win a presidential election for Donald Trump. Elon Musk is no more off the rails today than he was a year ago or the year before that. And if Elon Musk is off the rails, how far from the rails is Donald Trump? Are the rails even in sight from wherever Donald Trump's mind is tonight? Donald Trump absolutely does not know what he's doing about tariffs. And we now have what Politico calls a person close to the White House, familiar with the trade talks and granted anonymity to discuss sensitive negotiations, saying Trump knows the most interesting part of his presidency is the tariff conversation. I find it hard to believe he's going to surrender it that easily. It's all fake. There's no deadline. It's a self-imposed landmark in this theatrical show, and that's where we are. The Trump tariffs theater continued today. Donald Trump sending letters first to Japan and South Korea about tariffs, then to about a dozen other countries who are tiny participants in world trade. And they were the first form letters ever sent by a president of the United States to the heads of government in other countries. They all got the exact same letter with just the name of their country inserted. And most of them got exactly the same tariff numbers in their letters. Each qualifies as the stupidest letter ever received from the President of the United States by the head of state of any other country. The one to Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is identical to the one to Japan, which is identical to the Trump letter to Kazakhstan, which is identical to the Trump letter to Malaysia, et cetera, et cetera. The letter says, quote, "We invite you to participate in the extraordinary economy of the United States, the #1 market in the world by far." No head of state has ever read a more childish sentence in a letter from the President of the United States. The letter says, we will charge Japan or South Korea or another country a tariff of only 25% on any and all products sent into the United States. And that is a lie. And everyone receiving that letter knows it's a lie. Japan will be charged absolutely nothing. Nothing. Every penny of tariffs on Japanese products, every penny brought into the United States will be paid inside the United States by the people in America who buy that product and bring that product into the country. This is something the entire world knows. And every country receiving this letter today knew that they were looking at a level of economic illiteracy in that letter that they could never get away with in their own countries. It would be impossible for the president of any other country to say that they are charging the United States of America or any other country anything. Their voters would all know they were lying, because no country anywhere in the world has the legal authority to tax any other country, and no country has ever done it. Tariffs are paid entirely by the country that imposes the tariffs. That is something that Donald Trump has been lying about for his entire political career, and the White House press corps relentlessly proves its inability to understand what a tariff actually is. Wall Street continues to bet that Trump always chickens out. We've never had a presidency like this. We've never had a presidency promising and repromising and repromising and repromising the very same thing that the president then doesn't do within a matter of weeks or months of that promise that gets repromised and gets repromised again. And all of that is because Donald Trump does not know what he's doing. Or as Politico's unnamed source close to the Trump team says, it's all fake. There's no deadline. It's a self-imposed landmark in this theatrical show, and that's where we are. You could say that Donald Trump is off the rails, but I ask, what rails? When did the spoiled brat from Queens ever have any rails at all? Donald Trump cannot be compared to a derailed train, because a train has direction and purpose until it is derailed. Donald Trump has never had that. What you're seeing is a president of the United States who does not know what he's doing. And the price we all pay for that gets worse by the day.